Assalamualaikum and greetings to friends and the lecturer for this subject, which is Kak Nadia. First and foremost, let me introduce myself. I am Nurul Janazra binti Muhammad. For this roleplay assignment, the case scenario given to us, Group 5, is Lisa is an accounting fresh graduate who is living in Perak with her family. While actively seeking and applying for a job, she helps her family run a grocery store. Since both of her parents are getting older, they expect her to continue taking care of the family business. Although she loves doing it, but she has a dream of traveling. Many of her job applications are out of Perak because she wants to explore different places in Malaysia. She is in a dilemma whether to fulfill her parents' wish or to chase her dreams. For this roleplay, the main character of Lisa, or the protagonist, will be played by Nurul Hidayah binti Hazli. Meanwhile, the character of mother will be acted by Aina Sofia binti Makromi. Lastly, the character of father will be starred by Sisi Nurain Shafika binti Shaikh Muhammad Salim. For this role, we will also include 5 counseling skills that we had learned in our previous classes, which is attending behavior, empathy, effective listening, reflection, questions, and summarizing. Scene 1. Lisa had just finished the exam and wanted to notify her parents that she will be going home next week for the semester break. So she made a video call with them.
Assalamualaikum Ibu Ayah. Sihat tak tu?
Waalaikumsalam. Ibu dengan ayah sihat je ni. Lisa dah makan?
Dah. Why Ibu?
Lisa, ibu rasakan you look so thin from the last time I saw you. Did you skip your meal sayang?
Mana ada Tin? Dah naiklah berat badan Lisa ni. Ibu ni ada-ada je lah. Dah lah, Lisa ni nak bagi tahu yang Lisa nak balik kampung cuti semester. Lisa ingat Lisa nak balik lah hari Khamis minggu depan.
This Thursday ke sayang? Alhamdulillah, later ibu kemaskan bilik kamu. Sebab last 3 days kan, Uncle Ashraf datang rumah dengan family diorang. Bising tau rumah ni.
Oh, Uncle Ashraf ada balik Lama tak tengok anak-anak dia. Rindunya dengan diorang.
Ibu ada ambil gambar diorang. Nanti ibu send dekat Lisa, okey?
Okay, of course lah Lisa nak. Thank you Ibu. Love you.
Love you too sayang. Ni, ayah have something to talk with you.
Lisa, ayah tanya, what is your next plan after graduate? Lisa ada few semester lagi kan before this study.
My next plan Lisa ingat Lisa nak cari kerja kat luar negeri lah. Nak cari pengalaman dekat negeri orang.
Sebenarnya, ayah dengan ibu ada hajat. Nak minta Lisa balik kampung dan jaga kedai dekat sini. Kesihatan ibu dengan ayah dah tak menentu sekarang. Maklumlah, dah tua.
Ya Lisa, last week ayah demam seminggu. And ibu terpaksa tutup kedai almost 1 week sebab nak kena jaga ayah. Lisa rasa macam mana ya?
Tapi ayah ibu, you have already know right? Memang impian Lisa untuk kerja and travel seluruh negara. Takkan nak paksa Lisa untuk ambil alih kedai tu pula. Lisa have said early dah yang Lisa tak nak kedai tu kan?
Lisa, kedai tu hasil titik peluh ibu dengan ayah. Saya nak tutup. Perik hati kami ni bila tengok kedai tu makin lama makin usah. Tak ada orang nak jaga. Yelah, tu kan kedai keluarga kita dari arwah datuk kamu lagi.
Please, I don't want to talk about this topic again. Buat sakit hati and makin naik marah je. Nanti Lisa naik suara, ibu ayah juga yang sedih. Nanti kita bincang lah.
Lisa, you are our only daughter. If not you to take care of our business, who else?
Dah masuk yang ni pula. Okay lah, if there is no anything, Lisa nak end video call ni. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Lisa, makin dah besar ni, makin tak dengar cakap kita kan bang?
Itulah. Kita discuss balik lepas discuss balik.
Okeylah, baiklah bang.
Scene 2. After a little skirmish with her parents, Lisa was in a bad mood. However, she didn't blame them as they are getting old and she is their sole child. She understands their desire, but she also knows that she can't fully follow what her parents wanted. After that, Lisa goes to meet with the counselor for a piece of advice. 2 days later, Lisa video calls her parents again.
Assalamualaikum, Ibu Ayah.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam. Sihat ke kamu tu Lisa?
Alhamdulillah, sihat je.
Lisa, kenapa tiba-tiba call ni? You will come back kan this Thursday kan? Ke tak jadi?
Jadilah Ibu. Sebenarnya Lisa nak minta maaf kalau Lisa ada sakitkan hati atau buat Ibu Ayah sedih hari tu. Supposedly, I need to talk politely with both of you.
It's okay sayang. Salah ibu dengan ayah juga sebab desak-desak Lisa hari tu. Thank you sangat-sangat sebab admit your mistake tau, okay?
Sorry Ibu Ayah. By the way, Lisa call ni kan sebab Lisa nak bincang balik dengan Ibu Ayah about my future career.
Kenapa? Kamu dah terbuka hati ke? To come back and take care of the business.
Okay lah. Untuk hal ni kan, Lisa adalah minta advice dengan opinion dari my friends and also the counsellor in my uni.
Lepas tu macam mana?
Lisa adalah buat keputusan untuk teruskan dengan impian Lisa yang Lisa...
Kan benda sama je tu. Kalau macam ni, baik tak payah bincang.
Abang, anak tak habis cakap lagi kan bang? Cuba tunggu dulu apa dia nak cakap, kita dengar dulu, okay bang?
Itulah tu ayah tu. Betul lah apa ibu cakap. Lisa tak habis cakap lagi ni. Cubalah sabar.
Okay, sorry.
Macam ni. Okay lah, Lisa sambung balik. Okay, Lisa ingat Lisa nak kerja dulu kat tempat lain. Maybe dalam 1 tahun ke, 2 tahun ke, atau 3 tahun ke. Nak cari pengalaman dekat negeri orang. Lepas tu baru Lisa balik rumah and ambil alih kedai tu. So, how?
Okay, kalau macam tu, ayah dengan ibu putuskan untuk ikut je kehendak kamu. But you have to make sure not longer than 3 years, okay?
Ya Lisa, ibu ayah ni bukan apa. Ibu ayah ni dah tua. Besarlah hati ibu nak berehat-rehat dan belajar ilmu agama lagi waktu-waktu sekarang macam ni.
Okay lah ibu ayah. I hope keputusan ni membahagiakan ibu ayah. Walaupun berat hati Lisa nak decide. Okay lah Lisa nak end call ni sebab kawan Lisa ada panggil. Assalamualaikum. Take care ibu ayah.
Waalaikumsalam. Take care Lisa. Thank you. Call ibu ayah.
Sama-sama ibu ayah. Bye-bye.
I love you.
Love you too.
In summary, this role play includes 6 counseling skills that we had learned in our previous class, which is attending behavior, empathy, effective listening, reflection, questions, and summarizing. First and foremost, attending behavior. Attending is the ability to physically present for the client. It means giving them your undivided attention and making appropriate eye contact, mirroring body language, and nodding. This attending behavior shows your client that you care for them. For these skills, it was shown through almost every character. For example, the character of the father nodding in agreement with Lisa's suggestion, which means he is showing full attention towards what Lisa is saying. Next, empathy. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoe. It is much more than sympathy in that you are able to show your understanding of your client's feeling, surrounding, and experience. Moreover, empathy is the ability to understand what the client is feeling. A therapist's ability to understand sensitively and accurately lies with the client's experience and feelings in the here and now. An important part of empathy is to follow precisely what the client is feeling and to communicate with them that the therapist understands what they are feeling. In this scenario, the empathy was used when Lisa understood her parents' wishes for her, and she negotiated with her parents under the context that she was going to work outside the state for 2 or 3 years before going home to take over the work of the grocery shops. Next, effective listening. Effective listening is attempting to understand the perspective of the client and empathize, not sympathize, with him or her. The listening process goes as following. First, listening to any sound perceived by the ear. Second, giving attention to selected stimulus. Third, understanding the message. Fourth, memorizing. Fifth, evaluating. And the last one is giving response to overall message listened. For this skill, the example can be taken from scene 1, where Lisa asked about her parents' health and the mother answered that they were perfectly fine and healthy. Another scene is where mother asked about whether Lisa skipped her meals as she looks very thin in her view. But Lisa responded by saying she had not skipped any meals and her weight is absolutely normal weight. The fourth counseling skill included is reflections. Reflections are used in the counseling process to accurately describe the client's state from their verbal or non-verbal cues, reflected back the feelings, content, and ideas and experience of the client. It will require attentive listening and empathy, whereby feelings reflections which is reflection allows clients to hear the feeling they have just expressed, and sometimes you have to look for the descriptive feeling in a client statement. It can also be helpful to look at a client non-verbal feeling cues. For example, in this scenario from scene 2, we can see that Lisa is feeling sad and asks for her parents' forgiveness for making them sad and irritated because of her rude behavior in their previous video call. Furthermore, other counseling skills included in this scenario are questions. Questions are helpful in the therapeutic environment because they allow you to learn more about your client. The type of question you ask will set the tone of the session and the entire counseling process. There are two types of questions, which is first, open. An open question is necessary to gather information. An open question is one that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no, and it requires reflection or exploration on the client's end. Every open question should be intentional and therapeutic. And second type of question is a closed question. A closed question is a practice of asking a question that can be answered as a yes or no. Closed questions should generally be avoided in the counseling relationship as they do not encourage deeper exploration. For this skill, we had already maximized the use of it in both scenes where all characters are using it. For example, in scene 1, Lisa is seen asking her parents' well-being and her parents answer her with her question with yes, they are fine. This can be considered as a closed type of question. Meanwhile, an open type of question is where the father asks Lisa about her future plan, in which Lisa took some time to think of her future, whereby she also needs to think of her parents' wishes and feelings in this situation. And lastly, summarizing. Summarizing will let the client know that the counselor has said and understood, and also enables the client to clarify thoughts, identify what is most important. It is not sufficient to just just to notice what the client has said. It is also important to notice what is missing. In scene 2, at the end, we can see that Lisa clarified her thoughts and suggestions to her parents, summarizing the end of the problem and getting her parents to understand her own opinion and wishes too. She also gets to know more of her parent better, making their relationship more closer, more intimate, and not resulting in a bad ending, which it can both get her and her parents to break up their relationships. In conclusion, I think we had In conclusion, I think we had successfully included and assimilated the SIG counseling skill in our role-play assignment. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention and participation in this presentation.